What's going on, guys? I am True Racer, and today you get to wash the cart with me, and I'll kind of show you what you have to do after you're racing in the rain or out there even practicing in the rain. Yesterday I was out at Button Willow. It wasn't supposed to rain, but it did, and then I figured I'd go out anyway. I wasn't going to waste a 3-hour drive, and at least I'll get some good practice rain driving in. So that's what I did. But the cart gets filthy and incredibly dirty after the rain, and you really want to be able to wash it and lube it up again and make sure it doesn't get all rusty and make sure everything stays smooth and ready and pristine, especially because next weekend I have a race and I don't want anything to fail on me next weekend. So first thing we're going to do is take all the bumpers, wheels, and a few other things off. I'm going to leave the motor on because I don't have too much time today. Normally you would take the motor off and maybe like pressure wash it and clean everything over on that, but I don't have that much time today. So it's basically bumpers, fuel tank, and a few other things, and then we're going to scrub it down and put it all back together and fire it back up, make sure it still works. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Well, I'm already kind of glad I did this, although this kind of infuriates me. But I took this bumper off, and it's got water on it. Because right here, radiator's leaking. Which, for those of you who don't know, these things are like $500 a piece, which is incredibly aggravating because literally it's just a normally small radiator. But because it's a racing radiator, they overcharge. But I know a quick little fix for it. Because I did it on my other shifter cart. I'm just going to put a little JB weld here, clean it up real good, probably drain it, dry it up, clean it up really good, make it pretty rough, and then put some JB weld on it, and it holds pretty good. Because I'm not about to buy another $500 radiator for a little hole like this. But unfortunate, but I'm glad I found it now and not at the track. Alright, so I got it all tore down, and it's time to kind of wipe it down pretty good and then lube up any pivot joints or anything like that. And also for like the axle and the exhaust, maybe take some steel wool to it anywhere where it's got any rust on it already, and really put some nice elbow grease into that to make sure it doesn't rust, because you don't want that stuff to rust. Also, yeah, that's basically it. I might take these off still too to get the bearings really good in here. And also note, if you wonder why I took the fuel tank off, it's because you can see here, this stuff here, this is all from the fuel tank wearing, and it only really wears because it gets like dirt and grime. It gets like dirt and grime underneath there, and it really wears it loose. So you really kind of want to clean it up and make sure it's nice and not dirty at all. So let's get the WD-40 Simple Green water. Not really much water, but yeah, let's just scrub it down. Alright, so I got a quick wash of the frame and everything in general done. Now I'm going to use this stuff, which is like the best stuff on earth, to clean the engine and chain and some of the other areas that get really greasy. And this stuff does the trick. It's like a lot better than brake cleaner, and it smells like Skittles, which is awesome, and it doesn't eat away at the paint as much. So this stuff is like, it's my favorite. It's my favorite stuff. So I'm going to clean the motor, get that done, and then lube the bearings and then put everything back together. that's the plan. Now step 4 or 3 or wherever we're at, I got some steel wool, and I'm gonna kind of, I guess you could say, polish up the axle and the exhaust to make sure it doesn't have any rust on it and stuff like that. Maybe I'll use some WD-40 to really kind of get in there. Actually, I found a little crack right here, which I'm glad I took it off because I found it. And now I'll just bring it into work and I'll weld it myself because that's what I do. I'm a welder. Glad I found it though. Not a big deal. There we go. As good as new, except for the little crack. The WD-40 will also kind of prevent it from getting a little bit more water and rust on it in the future, so it's another bonus. Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a little thing that's starting to wear. I gotta replace this before it goes bad. Alright, I got all that stuff done. Finally, I'm gonna kind of try and lube up any and all bearings with some WD-40 and try and really make sure it gets into the bearing and hopefully penetrates and loosens it up and lubes it up pretty good. Okay, and then I'll basically put it back together, put the bumpers on, wipe the bumpers down, and yeah, it'll be ready to rock and roll, except for the exhaust. I'm going to bring that in and re-weld it, but we'll be alright. Let's do the bearings, finally. Alright, so everything's lubed up and I just need to put it back together. I'll clean the bumpers and stuff when I put them back on. They just need a quick wipe down. I don't need to rub any rubber off them. I wasn't racing in it at all. And then after that, I'll fix the radiator. But I'll do that. I'll make a whole nother video for that. But nevertheless, let's put it back together. Well, there you have it, guys. It is all clean now. I'm stoked. I should be able to run it this weekend. Shouldn't be any problems. I'm going to get the exhaust welded this week. I repaired the radiator already, so that's ready to go. And it's clean, it's lubricated, and it's ready to rock and roll. So I'm definitely excited to take it out again this weekend. You know, racing in the rain is definitely fun. Sometimes it is a pain in the ass because you really got to clean it every time afterwards, but it is what it is. Takes some work, but I'm used to it anyway. But nevertheless, guys, thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time watching, first time catching a True Racer video, then we'd love to have you join the team. So feel free to subscribe. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, stay true and race on.